Alright, I'm going to show you people how you can easily get to diamond using Anivia. If anything, if you're a silver player and you've always wanted to be gold, stick with Anivia and you will be gold. And then don't be surprised when you end up going platinum. And then don't be surprised when you're on your way to diamond, alright? You stick with Anivia and she's going to reward you for sticking with her. But if you want to just have fun and play some other champion and you don't want to climb the ranks of league, then by all means go pick some other champion. Anivia is not for you. And what I mean by that though is that if you're having fun, you're probably gonna climb the ranks, okay? But if you're sticking with the champion that you have fun with, so find the champion that you like the most and stick with it. Play at least 200 games with just that one champion. And if that happens to be Anivia though, then the sky's the limit as far as rank is concerned, okay? So I got a game here that I'm going to go through where I plan on doing two different games, but this is going to be the first one I'm going to do, okay? And I want to show the runes, of course, because I think looking at runes is interesting. It's one of the things that can change in this game from person to person. So I used the unsealed spell book, and I went flash heal this game. Using the unsealed spell book allows you to switch your spells mid game, and you can do it several times. Now what I do is I go to heal because it can help save you from a gank, okay? It's going to give you a little bit of speed boost. You can also heal an ally that's next to you. So if you're mid lane and you got the jungler your jungler, and he comes to help gank, and their jungler shows up too, and you end up doing a 2v2, but you got to heal, and the enemy team, their mid laner and their jungler doesn't have a heal, you're gonna more than likely win out in that situation, okay? So that is why I have that heal there. But if that situation never occurs and I got a back and then I need to teleport back to lane, not a problem. I can use the unsealed spellbook to switch from that heal to a teleport, okay? And then I also got the magical footwear. That's going to give me free gold because it's going to buy a book. It's going to buy the boots for me. Minion dematerializer. It's going to help me last hit the minions because it's going to give me bonus damage against minions. It's going to help clear the wave in case the guy is trying to push the wave really hard on me. Cosmic insight, just overall good. It's going to give me cooldown, things like that. And then I just got transcendence and gathering storm. So none of this is really all that out of the ordinary. But you just want to experiment with your rune setup, and there is no one size fits all. So have fun with it. It's something that you can change around. In this game, I just felt like going the unsealed spellbook route. But overall, it's not going to really matter that much what kind of rune strategy that you're going to do. As long as you know how it works, you know what you're trying to do with it. In this situation, you get what I was saying when I was saying why I used what. But you could go a tanky Anivia route like I got on my strategy page and do just as good, if not better. As long as you have the core mechanics down, which is hit them with your Q, hit the stuns at the right time, protect your AD carry at the right time, kite at the right time, don't get caught out at the right time, don't needlessly die in the first 20 minutes of the game, don't needlessly die during team fights, don't mess up on your walls. You get all the core mechanics down and then work on getting your CS, things like that, you'll be fine. But even if you're not good at CSing, I think you can still easily get diamond with Anivia because she's such a strong team fighter and she's so strong at not dying in lane. You can go 20 minutes with Anivia without dying once. In most of your games, you're not going to die more than 2 times, and that's why she's so strong. So now I'm just going to go into a game. I'm going to go into this game. And by the way, you can see here I did most damage on the team. All right, damage to champions. I went 13-2 with 8 assists. highest crowd control score because Anivia is very good at applying stuns and slows. Alright. So let's just go ahead and we're going to do a play on this right here. Now right off the bat we can see that they have a Sejuani. Now Sejuanis are you got to watch out for them when you're using Anivia, because if you get stunned while you're trying to back up or something like that because of her ult, you are definitely going to pay the price. Just going to turn the volume down a little bit on this. Don't need it to be that loud. Alright, let's see. Do a manual camera. Oh, we're just going to keep on Anivia for the most part. You can see my team's invading. It's always a good thing. That's always why you want to go Q on Anivia first, because the Flash Frost is going to give you a stun, okay? Now normally I would have been there with my team, but I was just kind of sitting mid relaxing. No, I take some early chip damage as Anivia, but not a problem. Because you're always going to start with 2 health pots with Anivia in the beginning. Alright, now you just want to kind of just last hit with Anivia for most part, most games. Just want to always work on your last hitting. Now it's not easy to last hit with Anivia, so it's going to take a lot of practice. And sometimes it does make sense to harass with Anivia, depending on the champion and the matchup. But for the most part, if you just want to be a passive Anivia, you'll never go wrong doing that, being passive. Now it looks like we got the jungler. Their jungler made a mistake. I decided to flash and secure a kill because I really wanted that red and blue buff there. I love those. No. Now, one thing I noticed though is that she has really long range, so it's really hard for me to kind of get in on her, and pretty fast moving champion too. And I'm a lot slower than that, and it's just really hard to get in on her and get her. So even with the red and blue buff, I was kind of noticing that, man, that didn't really go that well. Also, has a bigger minion wave than me right now, and trying to push in on my tower. See how she dodged that? Wasn't really much of a problem for her to dodge it. Now, always remember, Anivia has one of the slowest moving projectiles in the game. So if somebody is good and you do your Q, it's not that hard for them to dodge it if they know what they're doing. Now that's the power of Anivia. See her Q, her stuns, it's going to help you defend yourself so easily, especially if someone goes under tower, if you end up going under your tower. But then, like, if you notice that, even though you die, not a big deal, because you're back alive because of your passive. and you're full life, while Zoe was not full life because she took a lot of minion aggro whenever she chased me like that. And now she's under the threat of having to stay so she doesn't miss out on all this experience, because this is a big wave. She can't back out. She'd lose all this experience. So I got to keep threatening her by coming in and saying, look, I might kill you. You better be careful. And right there, I just hit her with an E. Now she's all in at me, but I back out to where I know that Shaco was there. And that was I knew he was there the whole time, and I was trying to bait her out towards me. And unfortunately, I got killed, but, you know, sometimes it happens. But as long as you help get the kill, and you can do that all the time. You can, especially if you have your egg passive up, if you can end up baiting somebody to all in you when you know your jungler is there, and you have your egg passive up, even if they kill you, you're not really dead. And then your jungler can come in and mop them up. So that's also another thing that Anivia can do that not many champions can do. So she definitely has a big advantage on doing baits. Nope. Right there, I baited again, mainly kind of just last hitting, but knowing that Shinko was there, not really that big of a deal as far as going in and trying to hit the minions and everything. Just trying to focus on last hitting, really. Missing last hits, but just trying to stay focused. Doing some more damage to her there. You know, I'll be honest, you know, Shaco really helped out a lot this game. And there you see that he, you know, that guy, he dodged, Sejuani dodged my ultimate. It's a very slow moving projectile. Now here I'm just trying to push the minions into his tower so that I can back. And notice earlier in the game that I did get that Tear of Goddess. I did back and get that Tear of Goddess very fast, because you want to start stacking the mana on that Tear of Goddess, the bonus mana, as soon as possible in the game. I mean, really, anytime you get the gold for, I think it's 750 gold, you want to always back and get that Tear of the Goddess, okay? Then you want to start working towards that Rod of Ages. And depending on the game, sometimes you might want to get the Ruby Crystal first. Sometimes you might want to get the Sapphire Crystal first. And that's when I mean that get one of the other first, is that when you're building your Rod of Ages, if you have the gold, do you want to get the Ruby Crystal, or do you want to just get the Sapphire Crystal if you only have gold to buy one or the other? I usually get the Ruby Crystal if it's a tough match where somebody's harassing me a lot. If it's not, and I just know that I just want to stay in lane and keep being able to do my ultimate to keep clearing it, then I will get the Sapphire Crystal for the extra mana. There I had to flash out rather than wait to see what was going to happen. I just immediately flashed because I don't feel like that I'm losing the lane at all. I feel like things are going really well, and I did not want to try to give up any kind of you know, I don't want to give up any death there. Because remember, with Anivia, you want to make it to, say, you know, 15 to 20 minutes without ever dying. If you can do that, you're great. And if you only died, say, like 2 times by the 15 to 20 minute mark, you're usually going to win the game. And if you ever see my games where I end up dying a lot, it's usually because I just never give up. And even if my team has been feeding a lot on the side lanes, I'll just keep team fighting over and over and over again and trying to defend all the towers. And my deaths will end up going up quite a bit because of that. But those are good situations where you can practice. Even when you're behind and you know the game, there's no way you can win it. Just play it out anyways. This is good practice. Now it looks like she's going down to the mid lane, and notice that I ping the question marks in the middle, and then I'm pinging the alerts down there, and I decide to follow. Most of the time you don't have to follow if it's in the earlier phases of the game, but if you know you can safely follow, then do it. Especially if you know a big team fight's going to happen. And notice that I was able to get my R on her and put up a wall, and I forced her to flash there. So let's see what I did in that fight. So when I come in, I immediately put the wall right here, so she can't go through that. And I put it at it's at an angle, so she has to walk over here and go down. Okay. I then put down my ultimate. I hit her with a stun. And then I hit her with my E. And I auto-attacked. And unfortunately she got away with a little bit of life. But not a big deal. Because then I pinged the tower. I'm like, let's get the tower. Everyone's probably didn't need to ping to do that. We're all going to get the tower. But there you go. And then Anivia is awesome at sieging towers, because she can clear the minion wave so easily. Unfortunately, Shaco died there, but hey. We got a tower, so things are looking good. Now, as Anivia, you definitely want to get back to mid and keep that farm going. It's very important with Anivia. Keep farming. You got to get that. You got to get that Rod of Ages, okay? Now you can see Anivia's got the Rod of Ages. All right. So when we are at the 11-minute, we were at the around 11 minutes 30 seconds. So anytime you get your Rod of Ages before 12 minutes, I would say that you're probably gonna have an 80% win rate every time that happens. From my experience, anyways. If I get a Rod of Ages at that time, almost always win the game. Now there I got a pretty aggressive there on Zoe. And, well, they're going really hard on me. But, hey, Anivia's Q passive. Sorry, but you got to kill me twice. And then there we got Ezreal getting caught. And that's the thing with Anivia. You know, let's see that again. So when you got your Anivia passive and they're going ham on you like that, you gotta get as close to your tower or past your tower as you can, because the tower is gonna protect your ass and give you time for your teammates to come and show up and help you. So that's what's going on here. We got the 1347 health, 1413 health Anivia, and this is why health is so powerful in Anivia, because her egg gets the health as well. Sure, her egg loses a lot of armor and magic resistance that you have, but it gets all the health that you have, and that's why people get health on Anivia. That's why it's so strong. That's why we get Rod of Ages. All right, and there we see Anivia. There we see Ezreal's taking a tower shot. All right, and now we are back. And then I immediately put down my R ultimate. And then I throw out my stun, and then notice I start walking backwards. Because, well, I was going to, but now I'm walking forwards because I noticed that the stun was going to hit. But the thing is that when Anivia puts down this R, she can get to like way over here without the R disappearing. But if she gets any further than that, then the R will cancel. But that's why she's so good at defending these towers or sieging towers. You put your ultimate down, and then you can back up really far, and they can't get to you, but you still got this big area of effect damage, even though you're standing way over here. It's so strong. It's so great, and it's one of the reasons why I love Anivia. And then we get a cleanup on Chloe there. Anivia clears the wave very fast, and now we're damaging the tower. I hit another stun, and there we go. There's another one. You know, just like that, now the game's starting to get away from them. We got that tower bot lane whenever I followed the mid laner. And then they try to go too ham on Anivia. Oh, then we steal their blue buff, by the way. Notice that I put the wall there to zone him out so we could get the blue buff. Anivia is awesome when you're in the jungle, because all these little gaps. Here's one over here. Here's one. Here's one. Those are all places that you can put a wall and split your enemy. You can use it to defend yourself. You can use it to zone out while you take their blue. You can use it while you're getting the Baron. So a lot of times, if we're getting the Baron, and my team will be over here getting the Baron, and I'll be over here because the enemy team's coming this way, and I'll put up my wall, and then they'll try to come this way, and then I'll put up my ultimate, and then my wall's back on cooldowns ready, and I'll put down another wall. So I'll usually keep the enemy team busy while my team finishes the Baron off. Let me just say also that Anivia is very strong when she has the blue buff. The cooldown on her is so important, and having that unlimited mana so that you can just keep your R down, keep your ultimate down, and not have to worry about your mana. It's just so good, but the cooldown is really good on her. Because sometimes you got to reposition your R. Sometimes you need that one extra Q stun is going to make or break the fight. And hopefully your teammates understand this. There I used my my heal so that I could get in faster. Because see, I switched to the heal because I had teleport earlier, but now I switched back to heal because it's better for team fights. It's better to switch back to that during your later phases of the game. Now we're clearing another tower. Now you see here, I was able to move in. For the most part, you know, I'm kind of staying back. But then this, you know, he's getting a little bit too close forward. And I'm able to come in, put my wall down, put my ultimate down, and here comes the Q stun. And then there's the Q stun. I'm stunning 2 people. Okay? And then we have them having to back off again. But then look, now he's coming forward while they both went back, and now he's going to feel the full brunt of our whole entire team. Alright. Looks like I'm putting down another R. Notice how it's going to be hitting both of them. I get one of them. And then another goes down. Hit the stun. Hit the E. Hit the auto. And a lot of your fights are going to be like that with Anivia. You know, do your R, stay at max range so they can't retaliate. Throw out a Q stun, hit an E, and then dance outside the fight if you have to, and then come back in and do a whole rotation again. Replace your R. But also remember that if your R is not doing any work and you placed it down at a bad spot, ask yourself, do I need to go ahead and cancel that R so it can go on cooldown, and then we can try replacing it in a better spot. But typically you want to put down your R if it's meant to catch an opponent and you're going to get a kill, or if it's meant to try to protect somebody like your AD carry. Because Anivia is really good at protecting an AD carry if they want to go ham on your AD carry. Because she's got slows, she's got walls, she's got stuns. Now, notice here, let's go back to that, and we'll see. Let's see, go back to about right here. Now, notice this fight that's going out, and I'm coming in, I'm assessing the situation. We got Sejuani, and we got Ezreal, and they're both doing work on Shaco, okay? Now, I don't come in this way, because I know it's most likely going to happen, is that I see her and I'm like, she's going to be coming in, and then Ezreal's going to try to jump back over the wall. So I'm going to come in this way, and I'm going to get that Ezreal so he can't escape. So there he goes, and then lo and behold, we got another one here. So it's going to be a 2-for-1. Putting my R right there wasn't the best move. He was moving this way, and I was trying to do max range to hit him with it. And I saw this guy. I didn't know if he was going to be coming in at me as well. So I just instinctually put it up because I'm a very defensive player like that. But then we hit him with the stun, and we hit both of them. I put down a wall right there to try to, so they have no escape. And then I hit my E to kill Ezreal. And then we clean up another one. And that's another thing that I like to do is when my Q gets back on cooldown, I will get point blank in their face and hit them with that Q. So it's less likely for me to miss. I'd say it's like a shotgun technique. Get really close, Q blast them right in the face. And even though your projectile Q is so slow, it doesn't matter. If you're right next to them and you do the Q and you hit them, there's no way for them to dodge, okay? So notice there, when I hit him there, I come in close and I hit him with my spells. And there again, we steal their blue buff again. When you're going ham like this, always look to take the enemy's blue buff. Oh, there we go. I'm fed, so that's why I'm out in front. But normally in a game, you don't want to be out front like that with Anivia. Because you have your stuns, you got your slows and everything. But if you don't have enough space between you and the enemy and they're able to hit you, you have such low move speed. You don't have anything like an Ezreal. He can do his little jump, his little teleport jump. Anivia doesn't have that stuff. She has walls, she has stuns, she has slows. But once they're in on you like this, because the Sejuani hitting you the stun, there's not much you can do if you don't have flash, okay? But see, I got flash, and I got my teammates there backing me up, and I'm pretty fed, so I got a lot of health and I can absorb a lot of damage, okay? So in that kind of situation, it's okay to be up front, being aggressive, trying to make plays. But then we lose, we lose somebody because of that. Because of my play. But I'm still going ham. I'm still up here. I'm still, still trying to do damage. And then there you go. There's one dead. Thinking that he can come at me. Thinking that he can come at me like that. And I got another one. But then I die. But meanwhile, see, while I'm doing all that, I noticed that Shaco was bot lane. He was split pushing. So I was trying to buy time. That's why I was going ham up top. Trying to just aggro the enemy team as much as I can while Shaco was split pushing. I mean, at this point in the game, their base is really falling apart. I didn't do this very much this game, but typically in a game, if you can steal that Raptor camp, do it as many times as you can. It really gives you a great advantage. Once you have your ultimate up, it's not that hard to clear the Raptor camps. You can see the power of a fed Anivia. She just one-shots, just melts the squishies like Ezreal, and one rotation of her spells.